Hey, kia ora. Oh, we got a network problem. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Escondido in California. I'm all by myself in the RV. Just me and Sparkles and Casey Kiwi and 3 Gus, and that's it. The folks are at LAX. They take off in a couple of hours. I just literally got back like 4 minutes ago from dropping them off at LAX. We left early this morning, had a good run up through to LA, went out for lunch with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Brian and Kristen, and had a good time with them, and then took my mum and dad down to the airport. And even though their flight wasn't until 10:30, my mum wanted to be there by 5. I said, that's fine. It's not a problem. And we got there, and she wanted to weigh Dad's bag because she thought it was over. So I took them up to the check-in. They've got premium economy. And so I took them to the premium economy counter, and Dad said, we just want to check the weight of my bag because we know we can't check until because I think they said they were opening at 6:30 or something. And the guy says, oh no, we can check you in right now. And so they got all checked in and everything. So that was pretty cool. And then they decided that they would head on through security. So we got them into security. They headed off up there. And as I'm downstairs waving at them up top, I noticed this kid next to me, and I'm like, what the heck is he doing? And he had this shopping bag, and he was taking clothes out of the shopping bag and putting them in the trash can. And these look like brand new clothes. But there were no tags on them, but they look pretty new and pretty good condition. And he was counting them, and he pulls out, and he gets up to 10, and then he pulls out this thing, and I'm not sure what it was. He looks at it and goes, no, I don't need that. 11, and pops it in the trash can. And I'm like, where are his parents? There was nobody around that may be his parents, because he was dark skinned, and all I could see everywhere was light skinned people everywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he looks up at me, and he picks up the next piece and goes, 12, 13. And I'm like looking up at Mum and Dad and waving, and Mum's like pointing to this kid, and I go, I know. And I'm like pointing the kid to them, and they're like pointing the kid out to me, and it was I don't know. But anyway, I had a good run home. Like I said, just got home. I left there 3 hours, not bad, in rush hour traffic. 3 hours in rush hour traffic on a weeknight. Did have a stop to grab some dinner on the way, but I did eat in the car as I drove. So that's a pretty good run from LA. So that was our day today. Now it's going to be quiet, and for the first time, I don't have to make up my bed before I get into it. In 4.5 weeks, this will be the first time I just go and climb into bed. I don't have to make it beforehand, because before we would have to collapse the couch down and make up my bed on the couch. Then every morning it got packed all away. So today, first time in 4.5 weeks, I actually get to climb into my bed tonight and just go, I don't have to worry about making it beforehand. But tonight's topic, that is not tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is, it is okay to take a pause. When you're on the road. Okay, so these are lessons that I learned along our road trip, and we're doing a different one each night, and tonight is number 3. And I actually have so far written down 18. I think it's 18, hang on. Yep, it's 18. 6 and a bit pages of handwriting. So it's going to type up. Although when I type these up, I'll probably end up expanding them because these are more quick notes. So it's okay to allow pauses along the way. So when you're out and you're doing the road trip and stuff, make sure that you allow time. If you listened to us last night, 2 nights ago, when we were talking about setting the pace of 40 miles per hour, then that would allow us time then to have those breaks to stop and see sights along the way. We did miss a lot of sights because we had some long days in there. We had ones that were, almost 400 miles. In fact, I think we did do a 400-mile one day. And that was like 8 hours of driving for me. Never mind Mum and Dad. Is it a little sheet of paper or a big piece? Does that answer your question? This is my journal. I'm not showing you the inside, but this is the size of it. Okay? Next to my head. So you can ask if you like, but actually I'll show you this real quick. This is my handwriting, and as you can see, I've only got 7 things on there. This is number 7 down here by my little finger that goes over the page. Okay, so allowing time to see things along the way, because there was stuff that we got to miss because of the time crunch we were on to make sure we got to the next destination in the daylight so we could get parked, because I did not want to try and park this thing in the dark. Pull through, okay. Back up, not so much, because I have a rear view camera that will work sometimes and sometimes not. It's got a mind of its own. And there's times we're driving down the road and all of a sudden it pops in and shows me a picture. Oh, welcome to the rear view camera, welcome to the party. And it turns around and it suddenly shuts off. And I'm like, okay, obviously not the right time for you. Well, thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Brittany, for my handwriting thing. It is a mess. That's my scrawl. That's not my neat stuff. That's just my chicken scratch. Which is basically how I journal, is chicken scratch. But anyway, thank you very much for the comment. I appreciate that. But we missed things along the way. Like, for example, when we were driving to Moab, you got these gorgeous vistas of beautiful canyons and that just stretch on for miles. Then you go another area and there's all this green for miles to see. And then you've got the bare hills in the background. And we didn't have time to stop and just get out and just absorb the beauty that was before us. And I was kind of annoyed about that a little bit, but it was one of those things that's sort of like, we didn't know what we didn't know. It was a new trip. It was a new experience for all of us. But next time I know that if I'm going to Moab, take a lot of time to get there. We'll go a different route, because there was a lot of this going on. Up hills, down hills. It was crazy. And driving through Arizona, we went through this canyon. I'm driving the RV through the canyon. I go to my dad, I go, I have driven the 15 up to Salt Lake City before. I do not remember this piece of road at all. And I said, I was driving then. And he said, well, you're looking at it from a different perspective. I said, even so, I do not remember driving through a gorge with cliffs this high before. And I said, it's like I went on a completely different road. I said, I don't remember any of this as we were driving up the 15 before we had to turn off to go to Moab. I said, I really don't remember any of this portion of the road. I said, I remember St. George's, but anything as we went into Arizona, I do not remember that portion at all. And so he was just kind of laughing. So it's making sure that you take that time to stop. So even when you're going after your goals, so how do we relate this to life? When you're going after your goals, make sure you take time to recharge the batteries. Take time to pause, to see what's around you. Because sometimes when you're so busy focused on your goal, when you are so focused, you can actually miss the opportunity that's over here that will help you get to your goal a little quicker. It's almost like you got blinders on. So if you've got those blinders on, you need to pause, take off the blinders, have a look around. You can still keep moving forward. This is why it's important to set the pace at a slower pace than what you would normally go after a goal for. So you set it at a slow pace, so it allows you time to pause along the way. And when you're pausing, you're still moving forward, but it's taking that time to take a deep breath, to reevaluate, it gives you time to reevaluate, it gives you time to absorb where you've come from, and to look to where you're going. Are you still on the right path? Is the goal still the one you want to go after? Where are we at? Doing that evaluation. So taking the time to pause, evaluate where you're at. Are we still on target? Are we not on target? Are we completely off target? Is the target over there and we're over here? So allow yourself time to stop along the way when you're going after goals. Not so much stop, but pause. Because stop, it takes a little harder to get going. But if you're pausing, then it's like taking a breath. And remember, something I always say, and this is something that has been backed up in many articles. I still remember this one from Forbes in 2013, where they had this article that talked about the cost of stress-related healthcare in 2012 was $33 billion spent in stress-related healthcare in 2012. And they said it could have been a lot of that cost could have been reduced if people did something as simple as take a vacation. You need to reset the brain. Taking a vacation, even if it's a staycation at home, we've got Labour Weekend coming up, and if you've got no plans for Labour Weekend, make it a staycation. What can you do in your area that costs next to nothing? Set yourself a goal. $20 a day, $20 per person per day. What can we do? And that's your food, your fuel, everything. That's the whole kit and caboodle. $20 per person per day. What can you do for that? Or it might be, say, $10 per person per day. Set yourself a per day per person limit What can you go and see that costs nothing or next to nothing in your area? And just use your home as your hotel. So you get up in the morning and you leave. And you come back at night. The next morning you get up and off you go again. And you come back at night. So use your home as your hotel. Do it as a staycation. This is allowing yourself to have that pause, because by having that pause when you're when you're so focused on your goals and stuff, you are missing opportunities. When you reset the brain, your brain is now a little more is reset, because you know how when you got to reboot the computer every now and again just to clear the cache and all that sort of stuff, and how the computer starts performing really better. The same thing happens with your brain. If you're into business for yourself, you will find that your productivity raises. So when you take a break, your productivity will raise because you've reset the brain, you've cleared out the cache. Now it's time to get in there and get moving again. So remember to take these pauses, allow pauses along the way so that you can see the sights, so that you can see what's going on around you, so you're not missing opportunities as they appear, and you're more aware of your surroundings. So be aware of your surroundings. Very, very important. And just take a pause. It's as simple as that. It's take a pause, recalibrate, reset, carry on. Because sometimes when you stop to reevaluate, when you pause to reevaluate everything, you find out that that's not the path you want to go. You want to go on that one over there. And if you're so focused on that goal, you're going to miss that other opportunity that came up that's going to get you to where you need to go instead of the path that you're on. So that's my lesson for today, it's okay to have pauses along the way. So what's some of the things that you do when you need to take a pause? Do you do staycations? Do you take a vacation? Do you go visit relatives for the weekend? What are your plans for Labour weekend? What you up to? I want to know what everybody's doing this weekend. I'm going to be babysitting the grandkids. I am so looking forward to that. I got the grandkids for 2 nights. It's not going to be here in the RV though, because I've got an almost 1-year-old and a 4.5-year-old. So I'm going to be babysitting the grandkids tonight, this weekend for 2 nights. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably get back on Monday and just collapse. Get back to Sparkles and just collapse. Who knows? But I am so looking forward to spending some time with the grandkids. So that's my plans for the weekend. What are your plans for Labour weekend? Put them in the comments below so we get to know you and get to know what's going on. And kia ora to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. And tomorrow we will be talking another topic on lessons learned. So we're up to topic number 4 tomorrow. Today was all about it's okay to take a pause. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. He konera.